I want to scoop myself here. We're going to hold the news until Monday, but we have just been hit with the new human rights complaints under the so-called hate speech provision, which is exactly what happened to me. I don't know if you remember at the Western Standard when we published the Danish cartoons of Mohammed.
Why don't you go back even one more step? Because you've been fighting this on campus. You fought this on campus at U of A.
That's right.
I remember when you went to law school.
You know, I've been a troublemaker since I was in diapers, and I will be when I go into diapers again. Trudeau wants to bring that hate speech provision into the federal law that Stephen Harper actually repealed. But I was looking through the different jurisdictions, BC, Saskatchewan, and Alberta still have that provision. Remember when I was taken for the cartoons, it was before the Alberta Human Rights Commission. And I didn't plan to ask you this, but you're just making me think of it.
What is the provision?
It is unlawful to publish anything, quote, likely to expose a person to hatred or contempt. That's the exact wording. I remember it because that's what I was prosecuted under. And it just, the human rights complaints in another jurisdiction, but I was checking what jurisdictions still have that on the books. Alberta does. I don't think they're active. I think they learned their lesson. But I think that's an obsolete law that isn't in sync with the spirit of Alberta. It feels like it might have been put in for good faith reasons 30 years ago, but I'm worried about that. And I'm being hit with a complaint. We'll have the news on Monday.
Well, I'll look forward to seeing that. And we had initially thought when I wanted to protect people's medical choices that we were going to open up the Human Rights Act to do that. Preston Manning gave me other advice. He said to protect people through the Alberta Bill of Rights, because we have to start with making sure government is not discriminating against people. So I thought that was wise. But let me watch how this unfolds to see if there's any additional need for us to give protections. My personal view on hate speech has been that the criminal code already draws the lines, and it has to be a very high bar. And that is something that is I think very rarely used, but it's been used in cases that I think most people would look at and say, well, that seems like a legitimate use. Whereas I think the tribunals, they're very subjective. I've watched your testimony and how unbalanced it seems, but I don't have anything on the table right now to change the Alberta Human Rights Code. Let's get through the Bill of Rights. I'll watch what you're doing, and then we'll see if there's any need to modify.